Hundreds of tractors are descending on Westminster right now, with rallies also taking place in towns and cities across the UK. So here they are making their way to the capital this morning. This will be fun. Now, that's an advert for cycling, that, isn't it? They're the only people who are going to get past this, people on bicycles. This is the latest push by the farmers against what organisers have called a Stalinist offensive on farmers, following Labour's plans to make farms worth over £1 million pay inheritance tax for the first time. 13,000 people, including the TV star Jeremy Clarkson, gathered in London when farmers first staged their protests back in November. Remember this? Downing Street insisted yesterday it is committed to farmers. It's steadfast, but it's not going to budge. The government has claimed 3/4 of estates won't be affected by the changes. Problem is, if you're there's a lot of farmers who think they're affected because of land values, and they're sitting on £3 million worth of land.
Yeah, but there was a key word, that think they're affected. The actual number that was presented was 117 farmers will potentially be affected with this new inheritance tax.
Do you believe it? A combine harvesting could cost $1 million.
And the reality is what it is that people have invested into a tax avoidance scheme, which they now need to undo, and they probably can't undo because of the benefits of owning land. I have a significant amount of empathy for actual farmers who are being squeezed constantly. But for me, I think they need to keep that energy with their supply chain and people who are squeezing them for the price of their goods. This particular initiative, where you've managed to generate so many people to come and drive down and block the roads and protest in the tens of thousands, is laughable. Like, these men who are cosplaying farmers, who are ultimately multi-millionaires. I think I saw Andrew Lloyd Webber in a £300 coat with these wonderful puppies complaining about this as if he is a farmer himself.
Well, Carole, there may be some inheritance tax avoidance schemes going on, I suppose.
Well, we know the figures that were released originally, that the government put out was 500 farms would be affected. That's been completely disputed, and the number that is being put forward now is 70,000. Whatever happens, this tax is going to be disastrous for cash-poor farms. However, this protest has made me proud to be British. I mean, literally, it's a civilised protest, no aggression, no violence,
no burning. The French always burn stuff.
Yes, so this is a civilised protest, but more importantly to me, it feels like a mighty roar by normal working people. This is the people who are unloved and dismissed by the metropolitan
Marvyn
elites.
is rolling his eyes.
Well, he can roll his eyes. I was rolling my eyes at
because normal working people don't have a farm.
No, I'm sorry. There are lots of very cash-poor farmers in this country, and the metropolitan elites that I'm describing, and particularly the ones in government, they see the farmers literally and figuratively as a blot on the landscape. You know, there was a scheme that farmers in Ireland. There was a proposal the government was put to the people to slaughter 200,000 cows because they're polluting the environment. So we're going to kill cattle
in Ireland
on the god of the weather.
There's certainly in Wales they've had a scheme to try to insist that all farmers should have some wild flowers and forests on their land, and that's gone down badly. But maybe I don't know. Marvyn, you obviously think farmers are not going with the times here.
Farmers are beloved, much like nurses are beloved. Everybody loves farmers. They create food for us all.
Yes,
they mind their business. They look after their land. We're talking about landowners. This is a completely different
framework. We're talking about farmers, Marvyn. It's not all rich landowners. This is a completely different framework. And the amount of people isn't 70,000. Where on earth do you get that number from? Literally, that was debunked. Where do you think
by moment, it was debunked as an idea that it's that many people.
Right. You can keep on talking over me, Marvyn, but I'm going to carry on doing
it. Don't talk over me.
Well, because you just tries to railroad everything.
Just let her do a little thing, and then you come back.
Let me do my little thing.
Well, let her do a little thing about his. So he's talking. He doesn't like you interrupting, so he's decided...
He talks over me the entire programme.
Again, he just keeps talking as a result. The viewers get upset. So why don't we just have a thing where Marvyn says something and then you interrupt him at an agreed moment?
Like now?
You talk, Marvyn. You make...
No, don't go into a sulk on it.
Well, I'm not going into a sulk. It's just that the whole show, he doesn't want me talking over him,
hopefully by the time we do the papers, it will be sorted out.
You can't about all all farmers being massive landowners, rich landowners.
I'm talking about landowners, I'm not
Andrew
talking about
Lloyd
farmers.
Webber was only there to support the
All right.
march. He is not the farmer
Marvyn,
we're talking
speak.
about.
Marvyn.
I am only talking about landowners. I am not talking about the farmers.
Well,
the
that's
farmers
who
who
are
are
protesting.
impacted, but the mass landowners, the amount that are going to be affected is significantly
All right.
lower. And I do feel sorry for
That's
farmers
what
who are being
Rachel Reeves
squeezed.
says.
But please keep their farmers, please keep that energy for your supply chain and the retailers who refuse to pay you equitably.
I'm going to add in one fact here. I was sitting at a dinner recently, and I happened to be sitting opposite a farmer from Flintshire, so in Scotland.
Yeah.
And he was, looking a bit cross about this whole thing. And I said, well, tell me honestly how much your farm is worth, the whole thing. You put in, you got £1 million combine harvester, you got the herds, you got the land. He said probably 8-9 million. Okay. So I then said, how much income do you make per year? 48,000.
Yes, exactly.
That's
the point.
That's why he's cross. Ben in Northamptonshire, hi.
Jeremy.
Hiya, are you a farmer yourself?
Yes, certainly am.
So what do you make of the state of play right now? Is the government essentially saying, we're sorry, we're not changing our minds?
Yeah, it's quite a difficult one. I mean, the kind of thing that the angle I'm going for at the moment is the price of what we get paid for food is going to be the problem with what's going forward now. Because if they're not going to go back on this tax, which is one thing, and, whether you agree or disagree, if they're not going to change it, then we need to accept it. Not without a fight, of course. But my angle is, in that case, we need to be paid enough for what we produce to be able to actually afford the tax in the first place.
Yeah.
No, I understand. So prices may go up as a result. Although the death duties come after down the line, don't they? Ben, thanks. I'm just going to go over to Westminster because we've got one of the protest organisers, David Catt from Fairness for Farmers. Hi, David.
Sorry, say again.
Hello there.
Hello.
Yeah, we can see you. We can hear you. Where are the tractors?
Yeah, it's just beginning to liven up here. The tractors are beginning to queue in Whitehall. There's a lot of people on foot. I'm glad to see a lot of press coverage because as an industry, we're really, really worried for the future of farming in this country. The politicians have got this wrong. They've worked it out wrong. And you'll see by the number of people here today how so much of the farming community all over the country is worried about the national food security. It's this country's food supply that has been put at risk here.
Is it? I mean, the government's saying only 170 farmers will be affected by the tax.
Well, there's going to be 500 tractors here. Tell them different, because we've all had a look at it, and it's just not. The figures are wrong. The Treasury said it was only 20%. DEFRA are saying 70% of farms are going to be affected. And so who's got the figures right?
David, thanks so much. I can see you're having problems hearing, but it's been very good to see your ear there. Thank you, David Catt. Joanne in Nottinghamshire, hello.
Hello.
Hi. Are you a farmer?
Yeah, I think farmers are very wealthy and they can afford the extra tax.
You're not a farmer, right? So some of them have a lot of land.
No, I'm not a farmer, but I live in a very small village. 230 people. Used to be a pit village, but obviously the pits was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, the farmers here, they're very wealthy and they can afford to pay the extra tax.
Thank you, Joanne. Bernard in Norwich, do you agree with that?
No, completely out of touch. There's a real world out there. Where's the food got to come from in the near future? Who's got to produce it?
Do you think farmers will put their prices up to get money in to pay the tax?
Well, I've got a friend. He worked 7 days a week. He worked over 20 hours a day, all weathers. Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't be any
the
good at it.
Where are the actual people where's the I? It's always a friend, it's always someone 2 degrees somewhere else. Where are the actual people who own these stories that say that this is what it is? Well, I just want to hear their testimony because I keep on hearing about someone that knows somebody, and I don't know if we're all talking about the same one person and their one farm with their hardship, but I would like to hear your own testimony, Bernard, as to what's happening for you on your farm.
No,
I said it very straightforward.
Yes, it is. You're saying, where are these
What's your
people?
story,
They're on the
Bernard?
streets of London today. That's where they are.
Well, can we get one of them who actually have a story?
Bernard, can you assure us this friend exists?
Please. Listen, I've worked on the land many years ago when I was a young lad. It's hard work. It's 7 days a week. Yeah. The poorest the pay is not good. And farmers' sons and daughters don't want to go into the industry. So that's what you sent home. You've got a comfortable job. You're well paid. Go out and work 7 days a week, rain, snow and wet, and see how you'd feel.